Hey guys, so today we got another episode of The Mandalorian. This is The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 7, Chapter 15. It's the one before the finale. If you missed it, I do have my watch-along video up here. As you guys probably know, every single Friday morning, I come live and we watch The Mandalorian together. It's always so much fun. So you can watch back. I have a timer so that you can sync up to make sure that you watch the episode along with me and get my reactions and commentary as it is going on. But let's talk about what happened in this episode. It was a little bit of a filler episode, but like a really good filler episode. And I didn't expect a whole lot to happen this episode just because I know the next one is the finale and it's going to be the big showdown. And I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I can't wait to find out how long it's going to be. But let's talk about The Mandalorian Chapter 15. Now, warning, there is going to be lots and lots of spoilers in this as I am going to give a full recap along with some of my thoughts.
Hey, Tessa from Mama's Geeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel.
So The Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 7 is called The Believer. And it starts off with Marshall Dune going, of course, to get Mayfield. We knew she was going to try to get him out. I thought it'd be a little bit more of a process, but she literally just shows up and says, like, come with me. And by the way, I went through a lot to stuff to get you out. You don't know what it was, but she did it. And she says, you got to come with me. And he's like, where am I going? And he keeps asking, and she's just like, come with me. And then when they explain to him, they need him to help them find Moff Gideon's cruiser, right? They need to find his coordinates. He says, does this mean I get out? And they're like, no, but you'll get a better view. In other words, he's not going to be working at the scrapyard anymore, but like, you know, maybe he'll be in prison, but just a better environment in prison, right? He's not working in the scrapyard. And he says, well, listen, you guys, I need access to an internal Imperial terminal in order to find his coordinates. I know that there's one on Morak, and they're like, nothing's on Morak. And he's like, no, it's a secret Imperial mining hub, woohoo! And they find out it's a secret Imperial mining hub for Rhydonium, which happens to be very volatile and explosive. So dangerous. So of course something crazy is going to happen. I knew it right when they said that. They end up there and, well, listen. So they get there, and this is the crazy part. So we have Boba, who, by the way, his outfit is like all cleaned up. It's so weird. His armor, it almost looks like he repainted it. It's so clean that like it kind of distracted me every time I saw him. I was not expecting it. I liked the dark and gritty, like old. Clearly he's been through some stuff, but he has pride in his armor. He had to clean it up nicely. So we have Boba, we have Cara Dune, we have Mando, we have Mayfield, and we have Fennec. And they land on Morak, and they're like, all right, what are we going to do? And this is all via the Slave One, of course, since the Razor Crest is blown up. So Mayfield says, they come up with all these plans, and Mayfield's like, no, there's scanners down there. They're going to scan your genetic code. If you show up in the New Republic register at all, you're going to be detected, and we're going to have to fight our way out. So they're like, crap, who can we send down? Well, they can send down Mayfield. Who else do they have? They can't. Everyone else has like some reason they can't go down there except for Mando, Din. And he's like, listen, I can explain a lot, but I'm not going to be able to explain this guy in Mando armor next to me. And Mando's like, well, I'll find a way to go. I'm going with you. You're not going alone, but I'm not going to show my face. So they end up, of course, attacking a transport, like getting the two guys out, and they go in full armor, right? Which is really, really weird to see Din in, like, Imperial armor. It's very strange. And then it's actually funny because they're on their way and they get attacked by pirates, of course. And so they're having to fight them, and him trying to fight them, he doesn't have his normal tools, right? He's got a gun that goes out of ammo super quick. And then, of course, he doesn't have Beskar armor. So he's getting, like, hit more and taken down more. But the pirates are basically trying to explode the transport. They've exploded a few of them along the way. They keep getting the calls in that ones are exploding, and they're seeing them explode. But they're rushing there. It's a big, awesome action sequence. I really loved it. At one point, actually, it's really funny because all the pirates have thermal detonators, and they're going to throw them at them. And I was like, oh, boy. And anyway, they reach the area, and Mando stands like this. He's like, what am I going to do? Well, since they cross into the base, stormtroopers and TIE fighters come and save him. And it's kind of funny. They're driving in, and they're all, like, saluting him. And I'm like, dude, you're saluting the Mandalorian and you don't even know. So that was kind of funny too. But they go in there and Mayfield is like, all right, I'm going to go access the terminal. Like, I'll be right back, yo. It's over there. So he starts to go in and he's like, oh, no, my old commanding officer is in there. He might recognize me. I can't. Right? I'm too nervous. I'm worried about it, which I understand. So Mando's like, no, you have to do it. Well, Din, I should say, is like, no, you have to do it. And he's like, no, they need to scan your face. So this is where it gets insane. So in order to access the coordinates, I mean, listen, he's going to do anything for Grogu, right? So he takes off his helmet. So we get Pedro Pascal. I was so excited for like a solid 6 minutes because while he's doing that, Valen Hess, the commanding officer that Mayfield was so worried about, comes over and starts talking to him. Now, he doesn't know what to do because he's like, what's your TK number? And he don't know. So what happens when Mayfield comes and saves the day? He walks over and he's like, hey, I'm TK number whatever, commanding officer. He's TK, you know, his whatever lost pressure and now he has a hard time hearing. So you have to speak up when you're talking to him. And so Valen Hess is like, okay. And you think he's like maybe going to be upset or something is going to happen. And instead he's like, you guys brought the only shipment in, the only transport in. Good job, guys. The only one today. So let's go have a drink. And so now Mando still has to have his helmet off, right? That's why it's so cool. We get him. It's like a solid 6 minutes. It's fantastic. And he's so quiet and then here's the thing. Mayfield starts talking all this stuff and Mando's like, Din, starts saying like, don't, he's like, mm-mm. He's like looking at him like, no. Cause he's like, oh, remember when you were doing this and you were doing this? Yeah. Uh-huh. Do you remember that? Oh yeah. Do you remember? And he's like poking him and egging him. He's like talking about, the part of Operation Cinder. He was part of Operation Cinder when he was on the planet Vernon Khan and he killed lots of people, innocent people, as well as, you know, troopers and Imperial troops and stuff. So Mayfield basically calls him out on it and then gets really mad and just shoots him. So he starts this like all out fight. Great. Good job. Awesome. Well, Din gets to put his helmet on. He does say, hey, we did what we had to do. I never saw your face, which I thought was cool. He's basically telling him like, your secret's safe with me. I don't know who you are. Let's go. They fight their way out. They get to the roof. They jump into the slave one, which is one of the coolest scenes. And then they still got all these people coming after him. They go up and the slave one, you guys, oh my God. First of all, I love seeing the slave one in action. But TIE fighters are after him. And so the slave one does an energy pulse, which is right. And then as if it's not over, Mayfield takes a gun and he sharpshoots, takes a rifle actually, the transport that had the Rhydonium in it and blows up the whole entire base, which was really, really, really cool. Really cool. They get out of there and it's funny because Cara Dune says to Din, she goes, it's a shame that Mayfield died in that explosion. And he's like, huh? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, does this mean I can go? Because I'll go. And they're like, yeah, go. Run away. So he leaves. Hopefully we see him again because he's a fantastic character. And then Cara Dune is like, hey, did you get the coordinates? And he's like, yeah. And then you go cut to Moff Gideon on his ship, on his cruiser. And he gets this incoming message from Mando, which is like the most badass. He's like, yo, you have something that belongs to me. And he's going to be back with me soon. And he means more to me than you'll ever know. Like, he's basically like, listen, I'm coming. Get ready. He didn't have to warn him. But he's like, listen, you're going to be in trouble. So stew on that for a while. So this episode, yes, it was a filler. It's got a lot of action. I mean, it didn't have to, you know, they didn't have them like breaking Mayfield out or anything. And now Mayfield's gone. But it was all to get this for Grogu. And it's all leading up to this, what I imagine is going to be a pretty epic finale with, you know, Moff Gideon, the Darksaber, Grogu, Mando, Boba, Fennec. Like, they're all gonna, and Cara Dune, they're gonna end up on Moff Gideon's cruiser somehow. Just probably someone's gonna die, unfortunately. I don't know that they'll get Grogu out. I think they will. This is what I'm thinking is gonna happen because, you know, they're gonna leave us with a cliffhanger. They've confirmed season 3. We know it's coming. But I think we're going to have the Jedi. You know how Grogu reached out to the Force and Ahsoka said a Jedi will come, maybe? I think we're going to have that Jedi show up at the very end, very, very end of of the finale, and I'm hoping it's Ezra. I really hope it's Ezra, but there's so many people it could be. You guys let me know down below in the comments who you think that Jedi is going to be, and do you think that's what's going to happen in the finale? I'm sure there's going to be an epic battle along the way, and I cannot wait. A huge thank you to Cakeworthy for sending along this adorable Grogu shirt. You guys might have missed it. Last week I was wearing a Grogu dress, and next week for the finale, I will be wearing something else that Cakeworthy sent along. I'm really excited to show it off, so thank you for that, Cakeworthy. I appreciate it. And yeah, you guys let me know all your thoughts on episode 7 of season 2, The Mandalorian, The Believer, down below. I kind of like Mayfield, right? He's grown on me. I mean, he's a hilarious character anyway. He's great for the comedic relief. But it was a good episode. It's very filler. Not one of my favorites, but it's a good setup for, like I said, what's sure to be an epic finale. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. As always, you can follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Mama's Geeky over there. MAMASGEEKY. Thanks, guys.